How y'all doing out there? This is Easy Work Boxing. Please and subscribe to the channel. As you see in the title, I got Buddy Mcgirt, Mr. John David Jackson. I'm sorry, John David Jackson. Both trainers of Kovalevs. And I was watching a video today, something to speak about, especially since we have the fight of Canelo and Sergey Kovalev coming up. If you haven't saw that video, check it out. But I was thinking, I was like, which one of these guys were better for Sergey Kovalev? And is Buddy Mcgirt making John Jackson look bad as a trainer? And in my opinion, there were a lot of problems in the camp with Sergey Kovalev and John Jackson. And it's been exposed throughout the years as they separated. And you can see in John Jackson, he really has a problem with Sergey Kovalev. I don't know why. Every time Kovalev's name is mentioned, John Jackson goes crazy. He can't take body shots. Sergey Kovalev was drinking. He didn't want to do anything I say. We never connected. John Jackson said he never really experienced any racism or anything like that from Sergey Kovalev, because everybody says that Kovalev is a racist, but I don't really see Kovalev as a racist. But does this due to the fact that Buddy Mcgirt, since he's been in there, Sergey Kovalev has came back. He beat Anthony Yard. He beat Alvarez for the first time in the rematch, which he lost to Alvarez. But since Buddy Mcgirt has came in, I have seen a major change in Sergey Kovalev and his fighting style. Sergey Kovalev no longer comes out there as the crusher. He's not trying to knock you out in the first 3, 4, 5 rounds. But Buddy Mcgirt takes his time. And Buddy Mcgirt, from what I can see, is that Buddy Mcgirt tells him, your jab is the best punch that you have. Use your jab. Save your energy. And that's something that I've seen Sergey do lately, especially in the fight against Anthony Yard and the guy that beat him in the first fight, which he had the rematch. Now, one thing I want to say about John Jackson, I will say, to me, he's very unprofessional. Who would want to be trained by a fighter, and as soon as you're done, y'all separate, he goes bashing you, telling you what he feels is your weakness. Well, even though that weakness probably has been exposed, due to the Andre Ward fight, but why would a trainer or your ex-trainer go out in the boxing public and tell the public what are your weaknesses, what you can't do well, and things of that nature? I think that's bad business, and I think that could also stop him from potentially training most fighters. They're a smart fighter, because I want a trainer that trains me, and if we don't get along, you're going to tell them, well, he never works out on this, he never does that, he's a sucker for an uppercut, things of that nature. I think that's very unprofessional of John Jackson. But as I said in the title of the video, my main point of making this video is, how do people feel about seeing the new Sergey Kovalev with John Jackson, and since he's been trained with Buddy Mcgirt? And in my opinion, I feel that Buddy Mcgirt is doing a great job training Sergey Kovalev. I think Buddy Mcgirt training him for this upcoming fight with Canelo Alvarez will show the major difference of training with John David Jackson. As you've seen Sergey Kovalev with John David Jackson, he would go out there and he would literally try to knock his opponents off, straight body, no straight hard punches, combos, not taking his time at all to feel anything out. Now you see him moving behind that jab, moving that jab effectively, hitting his opponents in the face, not using up all of his energy, actually grappling and holding his opponent. And that comes from having a good trainer, in my opinion. So I'm thinking he is in a way making, and not only making himself look bad, but Buddy Mcgirt is making him look bad. What is it that John David Jackson couldn't do that Buddy Mcgirt can make him do? I seen a video today where they was talking to, shout out to Seconds Out, Radio Raheem. He was asking Sergey Kovalev, what will you be able to do in this fight with Canelo Alvarez? And Sergey Kovalev stopped him. He said, first of all, I don't know. I can't talk about that, because it's up to Buddy Mcgirt. Now, when he said that, that made me wonder, how is it that Buddy Mcgirt can have a good relationship with Sergey Kovalev and get him to do the things that's necessary in the ring? But here comes John David Jackson, who says Sergey Kovalev wouldn't listen to him. Sergey Kovalev felt like he knew everything. Sergey Kovalev was arrogant. He would be drinking, this, that, and other. Was it John Jackson? Was he the problem in the camp? I'm just asking. I'm just asking. Because that's what it seemed like could have been happening. How is it that a fighter that you say don't want to listen to nobody, and then there's the theory, like I said, of him being a racist fighter, but Mcgirt is black. So where's the problem? What was the problem stemming from actually with you and Sergey Kovalev? Because since he's got with Buddy Mcgirt, he's doing an amazing job in the ring. The Crusher is back. He's not out there. He's in big fights once again, thanks to the help of Buddy Mcgirt. But under your umbrella, he supposedly lost to Andre Ward. Lost, if I'm not mistaken, the second time with you against Andre Ward. That's because you, being an unprofessional trainer, going out in the public and having bad conversations on the phone, telling them what are your fighters' weaknesses. And I think that was very unprofessional of John Jackson. And that should open the eyes of upcoming potential fighters or contenders in the world of boxing. Would you really want a trainer like that? As soon as y'all have an altercation or y'all don't get along, all of a sudden you going exposing all your weaknesses to opponents and to the public. I wouldn't like that. So, that's a question I just wanted everybody to wonder about and ask yourself. And I really want everybody to comment and tell me how you feel about this situation between Kovalev being trained by John Jackson and Buddy Mcgirt, and the difference in the training and the fighting methods of Sergey Kovalev. Now, this is Easy Work Boxing. Thank y'all for y'all time. Please subscribe to the channel. Please hit that donate button. If you'd like to donate to Easy Work Boxing, I'm on Cash App, Easy Work 83, all combined together. I have PayPal. It's connected to the channel. Go to username, go to about. But most of all, I thank you for tuning in and watching the channel. I appreciate y'all. This is Easy Work Boxing. I'm out.